Let's solve this equation by completing the square. If we want to solve an equation by completing the square, we need to take everything that has an x term in it and put it on one side of our equal sign, and everything that does not have an x in it, we need to put on the other side of our equal sign. So that means that this 32 needs to move to the other side of our equal sign. So in our first step, we need to subtract 32 from both sides of our equation. When we do, we get x squared plus 12x equals negative 32. So we have everything that has an x term on the left side of our equation and anything that does not have an x term in it on the right side of our equation. Once we've done that, our next step is to try to put this left-hand side into the form x squared plus 12x plus some number. But we don't know what that number is. Our goal is to try to make this into a perfect square. So we need to determine what that last value is. We need to determine what that c value is. Whatever it is, we need to find a number that when we add it to itself, we get 12. And when we multiply it by itself, we get this number here. So we need to complete the square. And here's a way to do that. Take 12, the b value in our expression, divide it by 2. We get 6. Now take that answer and square it. We get 36. 36 is our c value. It's the value that goes right here. So notice, if we take 6 plus 6, we get 12. And if we take 6 times 6, we get 36. So this should be a perfect square. Now, since we added 36 to the left-hand side, we need to make sure to add 36 to the right-hand side. When we do, we have negative 32 plus 36, which will reduce to 4. So now we have the equation x squared plus 12x plus 36 equals 4. Now that we have this trinomial on the left, let's factor it. Remember, this should be a perfect square. Well, when we factor it, we get x plus 6 times x plus 6. It is a perfect square. We have two identical binomials being multiplied together. And notice the value of 6. When we add 6 together, we get 12, and when we multiply 6 together, we get 36. Now we can rewrite this left-hand side as x plus 6 squared and leave 4 on the right. So now we have it in this form. We're ready to solve for x. To solve this equation for x, we need to remove this square. So in step number 5, we need to take the square root of both sides. So we take the square root of the left and the right-hand side. On the left, we get x plus 6. On the right, the square root of 4 becomes plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2, that means we have a positive and a negative value for 2. So we need to split those into two different problems. Then we can solve them. So we split this into x plus 6 equals the positive value of 2, and x plus 6 equals the negative value of 2. So we're going to have two answers for x. When we solve, we get that x is equal to negative 4 and x is equal to negative 8. So now we have our answers. X is negative 4 and x is negative 8. If we take negative 4 or negative 8 and plug them in for x into our original equation, this left-hand side should equal 0. Let's check that to be sure. So in our final step, we'll check our answer. First, let's take negative 4. If we plug negative 4 in for x, do we get 0? Well, we get negative 4 squared plus 12 times negative 4 plus 32. That reduces to 16 minus 48 plus 32. That reduces to 0. So yes, we do get a value that equals 0. That means that negative 4 is one of our answers. Now let's do the same thing but with our other x value, negative 8. So we plug in negative 8 and we have negative 8 squared plus 12 times negative 8 plus 32. Well, simplifying, we have 64 minus 96 plus 32. And that equals 0 as well. So that means that we did find our answers, negative 4 and negative 8. We took our original equation and completed the square Then solve for x to find that x is equal to -4 and -8.